Welcome to Growth TV, an ACG production. I'm Carolyn Vallejo, and today we're talking about the ACG chapter merger experience. I'm here with Karen Kovacic. She is Managing Director with Libertas Funding, and Ramsey Goodrich. He's Managing Partner with Carter, Morse, and Goodrich. Both are with ACG's Connecticut chapter. Ramsey and Karen, thank you so much for joining Growth TV.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Ramsey, you played a really big role in the launch of the chapter. Can you tell us a little bit about its early days and what that experience was like?
So ACG New York was the behemoth in the area back in the early 2000s. And my partner, Michael Carter, and a couple of other folks got together and restarted a subchapter of New York in 2001. When I arrived out in Connecticut in 2003, it was good. It needed some more momentum. And so we really got a great team together, a great board that we put together with a lot of enthusiasm for middle market deal making, and off to the races we went. So a couple of keys to our success was that really active and engaged board. There was a real void of M&A activity, of advisors in the Connecticut marketplace that we needed to pull together. There was a vibrant market, a lot of commuters heading into New York, trapped between New York and Boston. So there's a really good industry there, but without real organization. So all we did was try to organize a little bit with some routine, some enthusiasm. And I think one of the big keys to our success at that point was really the routine of having a first Friday of every month. We would have our ACG meeting down at a hotel down in Stamford. Whether or not we were there, people still showed up. In a month that we didn't have an event, people still went and called me and said, well, where's the event this month? And so certainly that routine, it became so valuable to the community that it exploded in just a short period of time that we had too many members. And so we had to revamp and come out and back down.
It's a good problem to have.
It was a good problem.
So you got it up and running, a lot of enthusiasm. Karen, what has the experience been like since the launch of the chapter? What has the trajectory been in the last 5 years or so?
I mean, I think that, COVID obviously played such a profound effect on everyone and every industry and everything, including ACG Connecticut. And we were a little late to the table in the Zoom experience, which I think hurt our membership. And as Ramsey had said, we were really just so methodical about that, first Friday of the month. But what happened when we started coming out of COVID is that those breakfasts were no longer as applicable. And it was, people would move mountains to get there by 7:30 in the morning and be, kind of with a group of 150 people. But now post-COVID, it was like, no, I'm gonna drop my kid off at school, or I'm not gonna, kind of power through 2 hours of traffic to get there. And so we really had to pivot and start changing, yes, there's still some breakfasts on the calendar, but maybe we do 4 to 6 p.m. happy hours so people could go home and be with their families, or then continue out to, a dinner with their colleagues. And we also started focusing on more specialty groups, having cocktail parties just for the private equity firms and investment bankers. We're focusing more on women's initiatives. We're focusing more on the young professionals, initiative. And, as Ramsey had alluded to too, I think, having an engaged board and trying to get newer and fresh ideas on the board, and kind of passing off some of the, perspective to some new people who have had some great ideas. And so we've really worked hard to kind of do different venues, different type of programming, that has kind of brought the chapter to where we are today.
Mm-hmm. So there has been this evolution and now the merger. Can you tell us about why now and what some chapter members might be able to expect from this?
Sure. So I think that now, just because we feel like we've gotten some really great momentum kind of now in a post-COVID universe and trying to kind of figure out where we kind of sit and what our role is in between New York and Boston, right? And being this collegiate group that have become friends, over the past 25 years that we've been here. And so I think that just being able to give our members a broader exposure, right? More members, more networking and educational opportunities, to kind of cross-pollinate, if you will, with some of the other Northeast region chapters.
And building upon that, I think it's really important that we're collaborating, not competing with each other now. So while we would fight for venue space or a golf, when we scheduled the golf outing or when we tried to do our big events over the year, now because we're one ACG, it makes life a whole lot easier to be able to manage when we're going to do events and collaborate and support other chapters as opposed to trying to compete with them. For example, in the fall, we're doing a big ACG Northeast event up in Newport, which is going to involve all the different chapters and really collaborate between all of them for the best of speakers, of sponsors, of attendees for something very specific, for focusing on that first-time seller. Or we're doing a polo event down in Greenwich with ACG New York. We've always done a ski event with all the Northeast chapters, which I think is probably one of the best events out there. But
Shocking
I may
that
be
you feel that way.
biased.
Yeah, I was going to say shocking, really.
But that collaboration across chapters, so you can pull resources from everyone, as opposed, I think is going to be really helpful and really valuable for all of our members.
And I think that, and why now? I think, we are at a point where we need your resources. We need the headquarters resources, being able to help with marketing, being able to help with sponsorship, being able to help with, member engagement, and the fact that ACG headquarters has such a robust staff, and they're so helpful and so fantastic. And we're very excited to take full advantage of you guys. So get ready, to kind of help us get to that next level as well. So everyone on the board and that's part of the chapter is really excited to be working with the headquarter team and having you guys get to know our members as well.
Excellent. Well, good things ahead for members, certainly. So Karen and Ramsey, thank you so much for joining GrowthTV.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.